Well, we have an active setup for the central U.S. as a couple different pulses of energy bring rain, snow, and maybe even some ice to parts of the central U.S. Before we talk about the weather, we'll talk about some space weather because we actually have some potential visibility of the auroras pretty far south than normal. Much of the northern part of the U.S. could see some aurora borealis or northern lights because the KP index is forecast to be a 7 tonight, which means that aurora oval is visible farther south than it is much of the time. We're talking Iowa, Nebraska, Illinois, Indiana, Ohio, into Pennsylvania. Could see the northern lights tonight. The farther north, the better chances, of course, and you got to get away from city lights, but pretty good potential showing tonight. A lot of moisture over the next 48 hours here, especially in the south, right where we need it. We're talking several inches of rain across parts of Louisiana, which is in exceptional drought. Much of Louisiana in exceptional drought. So this is quite the needed amount of moisture here in the southern U.S. But on the northern end of this system, we're talking about some wintry weather. We have some winter weather advisories across much of southern Iowa, and of course scattered advisories, winter weather advisories and winter storm watches and warnings in the west. So in those higher elevations as these systems make their way out of the west, producing some snow in the mountains, but also at lower elevations such as Iowa. So the first pulse of energy is creating rain and showers across Louisiana already, and then we're watching this next wave to the west moving out of the Four Corners area, but then there's another wave making its way into California. So we've got a few of these pulses of energy, or what we call short waves, aloft in the middle and upper levels of the atmosphere. And each one of these is going to spawn some showers, maybe even snow as you get into some of the colder areas, following the jet stream, which is really energized, but across the south central and central parts of the country. So typical places that you'd expect to be getting wintry weather, like the northern plains and the upper Midwest, kind of missing out on these systems over the next 48 hours. So we've got that first round already going. It's going to get a second reinvigorating push from this next wave moving up as we head into tonight and tomorrow. And then yet another pulse of energy comes through on Saturday into Sunday. That will touch off more wintry weather in some of the northern areas here again for Iowa. So rain on and off throughout much of the southern plains. Again, we're talking several inches for parts of Louisiana. But notice on the northwestern edge where it's cold enough, we're talking about snow and maybe even ice. That's what this pink area is. And then another pulse of snow develops here as we head into Saturday night and Sunday. Again, across Nebraska, parts of Kansas, and Iowa. So this first round of snow is going to be a narrow swath, not particularly significant, but a couple of inches for places like Iowa. But notice, again, in the mountains in the west, we will see quite a bit of snowfall. But from about Des Moines through the Quad Cities up to about the Wisconsin-Illinois border, a couple of inches with this round one of snowfall. Also the potential for ice. Now, the NAM model is probably a little aggressive, but you get the idea. There's going to be this narrow potential swath of ice, mainly late Thursday night into early Friday for southern Iowa into parts of northwestern Illinois. But then the second round of snow develops Saturday into Sunday. That one a little bit more potent here. Southeastern Iowa, maybe into northwestern Illinois. This is from the NAM model in particular. So when you add up these two snowfalls, there's going to be a swath of pretty decent snowfall across southern Iowa into northwestern Illinois. Wintry weather there, and again, much needed rain in the south.